Earlier today, Trump had a speech at the Saudi-U.S. Investment Forum, and his speech was about an hour long, and I'm not going to play that in full, but there were a couple remarks of his that stood out to me. This first clip has two of those things I noticed. One was a reference to the Promised Land, and the other was his asking MBS how he sleeps at night.
Mohammed, you sleep at night? How do you sleep? Huh? Just think it. What a job. He tosses and turns like some of us. Tosses and turns all night. How do I make it even better all night? It's the ones that don't toss and turn. They're the ones that will never take you to the promised land, won't they? But you have done some job. True.
So we heard there Trump's remarks about going to the promised land, which is very interesting for obvious reasons. But his question to MBS about how he sleeps at night was also interesting to me because back in 1992, in an interview in the New York Magazine, Trump said this about himself. "I'm a guy who lies awake at night and thinks and plots." He also talked about the gift of not needing much sleep, saying, "I love the gift, but it's a gift from hell." What makes it fascinating about Trump's remarks that he lies awake at night and thinks and plots, alongside his question to MBS about how he sleeps at night, is that the Bible actually gives us two different verses that talk about those who do so. Micah 2:1, which says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand." Also Psalms 36:4, "He devises mischief upon his bed. He setteth himself in a way that is not good. He abhorreth not evil." Getting back to Trump's speech at this investment forum, the other thing that caught my attention was his remarks about the Abraham Accords and how Saudi Arabia will soon be joining it, which the whole world will notice, and how that will be greatly honoring him. And he also greatly flattered MBS.
And with the historic Abraham Accords that we're so proud of, all the momentum was aimed at peace, and it aimed very successfully. It's been an amazing thing, the Abraham Accords, and it's my fervent hope, wish, and even my dream that Saudi Arabia, a place I have such respect for, especially over the last fairly short period of time, what you've been able to do, but we'll soon be joining the Abraham Accords. I think it'll be a tremendous tribute to your country, and it will be something that's really going to be very important for the future of the Middle East. I took a risk in doing them, and they've been an absolute bonanza for the countries that have joined. The Biden administration did nothing for 4 years. We would have had it filled out. But it will be a special day in the Middle East with the whole world watching when Saudi Arabia joins us, and you'll be greatly honoring me, and you'll be greatly honoring all of those people that have fought so hard for the Middle East, and I really think it's going to be something special, but you'll do it in your own time, and that's what I want, and that's what you want, and that's the way it's going to be. When I left office, the only thing still standing between this region and its unbelievable potential was a small group of rogue actors and violent thugs seeking constantly to drag the Middle East backward and into havoc, mayhem, and indeed into war. Unfortunately, instead of confronting these destructive forces, the last U.S. administration chose to enrich them and empower them and give them billions and billions of dollars. The Biden administration, the worst administration in the history of our country, by the way, spurned our most trusted and longstanding Gulf partners, and I can say partners worldwide, one of our great, great partners, no matter who we look to, and we have great partners in the world, but we have none stronger and nobody like the gentleman that's right before me. He's your greatest representative, greatest representative.
So that was just a couple of the comments of Trump that stood out to me. If you're interested, you can find his full speech online. but I really couldn't bring myself to listen to the full speech of his because I find his voice deeply unsettling. But if you do listen to the full speech and you hear something else that maybe stood out to you, please leave a comment below about what your thoughts are. And in the meantime, thanks for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.